Hi there and welcome back to the channel. I've made it to Newark Autojumble. Lovely sunny June day. Did the Capri make it with me? I'm afraid not. I had to bring the Jag instead. No great hardship, I know, but I really would have loved to get the Capri out on the road, up to a show, and it wasn't to be at the end of the day. Too many issues. Stay tuned and you'll find out what happened. Let's go and have a look at what's happening in the Autojumble. Okay, so we've made it in. £10 to get in, early bird, 8 AM till 10 AM. After 10 AM it's £7. I guess that means that if you want to get the bargains you get here early, but it costs you more to get in. There's a covered building and open air spaces. It's pretty blustery, but it's sunny, and it's classic Ford day, so that's why I wanted to bring the Capri, because I was going to put that in the show lineup. But we'll have a look around inside, see what we can see in the Autojumble first of all, and then maybe take a scoot down to look at all the classic Fords that have arrived. Let's have a look.
You can put it around it, it'll cover it. You should have put more tables on.
Yeah, you know the one to full to Surrey. I'd like to have gone, but obviously. I'm not that kind of live for it.
I like your castle coat.
Yeah, it's all right.
I like that.
Good Andy thinks so.
Yes, where are you going to go to do 30
It seems to be so far gone. Everything else I've got to what's all good.
Double drop off the back.
There's a fucking revolt.
Hang on a minute. You know, Jeff, what's working with you? What's up?
Yes, probably. Yes, I would think so.
It's got a separate big thing, separate gear.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now what's confusing me is struts.
Yeah. It's not working. No. Is there some way you can switch it? Oh, you can't switch it. So unless it's been pinned out. Have you checked the RAMs? Still connected? Yes, that'll do. Yeah. Find out what it is.
I'll take a quick walk down the line, see what's turned up in the classic Ford department. First up, Mk1 Capri. Nice looking car, shame about the wheels. Escort Estate, Mk3. Very nice XR2. Something not quite right about this Land Rover. Can't quite put my finger on it. Nice trailer. Nice big old Morris Oxford. Very nice condition Lotus XL. Very nice. That fiberglass body is really in good condition. Lovely. No crazing, no patches, no nothing. A couple more minis. Another 73, 72, 73 K-Reg with a rather smart white paint scheme with purple trimmings and purple roll bar. Each to their own. Of course, with minis you can do pretty much anything you want these days. There's a little nod to the Italian job. GTM. I confess I don't know. Confess I do not know what a GTM is. Whether it's a kit car or something else, not really sure. Pretty sure it's a fiberglass body though. These are the cars everybody seems to rave about. Saab 900s, convertibles as well. Bomb-proof. Extremely well built. Don't see very many Escort Estates. Really interested in this one. So quite a lot of work done to it according to the history file. It's an HD shell for foreign export, which makes it a strengthened shell. Unusual car. estates. You don't see many about. So a fair amount of upgrades. I think sympathetic, you call it. Paint scheme is pretty leery. Smart looking car though. This is badged up as an Escort, but the Escort with a boot was called the Orion at some point. Ford Orion. But effectively it's an Escort saloon, Mark 4 maybe, something like that. Mk1 Fiesta. I had one of these. Nice 1600E Mark II Cortina. That was the executive model. It's got all the trims, the chrome trims, it's got the Rostar wheels, it's got the cappings on the doors. Nice usable condition that. 2 litre Ford Consul. Not quite sure what the difference between the Consul and the Granada was. There's a couple of Ford Prefects. Sit up and beg Ford Popular. With a non-standard engine, I think you call that. Nice rat rod Ford Model 8, again with a non-standard engine. With it being classic Ford day, really the only things to look at are going to be Fords, aren't they? Classic ones, preferably. A couple of Mark II Escorts, masquerading as rally cars. Maybe they are rally cars. The trouble is you can never tell these days what people have done to them. This one's got a roll cage in it, so maybe it is a rally car. Maybe it has got 2 litre underneath it. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's a 1600. Nice Mark III Capri. 2 litre S, red one. I had a blue one. Very nice condition. But I just can't get those wheels into my head. They look very much like my wheels on my Jag actually. Look like Oz Hypers, but I don't think they are. Mk1 Escort Mexico, built to reflect the Mexico Rally. I think they made a load of these for the road market. Lovely car, real iconic classic Ford. Very lovely condition. Mk1 Fiesta, young lad owns it. Just seen him come and put things in the back of it. It's really good to see. I love these little cars. I had one of these myself, W Reg as well. Mine was a white one. I think it was an 1100, really small engine, but I blew the engine on it in the end. But yeah, a great little car. 1973 Mexico, this one. Not quite as good condition as the red one a minute ago, but pretty good nonetheless. Body panels slightly out on the front wing there. Probably couldn't pick that up on the camera, but yeah, it's still a Mexico, isn't it? Mark II 1600 Escort, really nice condition on the paintwork, 2-door as well, mini light wheels, 1600 Sport it says. The trouble is you can never tell these days whether there really was an original Sport or original Mexico or whatever, original RS, because people do so many mods and retro upgrades and all sorts of things, and what maybe started out as an 1100 Popular ends up as an RS 2000. Difficult to tell. Nice looking 90s Fiesta and an 80s Mark IV Escort. Ford Probe, made famous by Alan Partridge, if I remember rightly. Don't know how many sold of these, but yeah, I think it was a bit of a, well, I don't know, if I'm honest, I don't know. Interesting looking car, of its period, maybe early 90s. What looks like a bog standard Escort Mark 1 actually is a 1300E. Very understated looking car, but it was the executive model. Still can't quite work out why these are so expensive, but Sapphire, RS Cosworths, all of that sort of period, just crazy money. People want them. Not quite as expensive, but still expensive for what it is. 2.8 injection Capri. I think the Brooklands 280 is the one to have these days, or maybe even the Tickford if you're really keen. But yeah, this was my goal, and then it all stopped when I had a family. Didn't end up getting a 2.8 injection, even though I really wanted one. Another Sierra RS Cosworth.
I don't know, if she's in a blue caviar, then
and the Escort version as well. Fast, very fast Fords.
yes.
I'm sure you guys all know that. Ridiculous looking tail on the back with the wood spoiler and everything, but I'm sure it must have done something other than look completely mad. RS 2000. Nice dark blue colour that actually, that's a really nice car, really nice colour. Tan interior. Big enthusiast guy this, he's got loads of RS Club stickers in the back. It's even got its original dealer sticker in the back window from Liverpool direction up at the Wirral. This 1600 GT Cortina Mark II. And this is the Ford Orion G-Reg, which makes it around about 1988-89, something like that. Very late 80s. Ford Orion, basically an Escort with a boot. This one's even got a luggage rack on the back of it and a tow bar. And a Mark II 1600 Sport Escort. Is it the poor man's RS 2000? Not sure. Still a cool looking car, whichever way you look at it. Well, there you go. Hope you enjoyed our little jaunt around Normous Newark Autojumble. There was an awful lot of bike stuff here, and yeah, not a huge amount of car stuff. A lot of things that weren't really associated with Autojumble, clothing and other bits and pieces. But it's a trader, so I suppose they're paying their money. It helps put on an event at the end of the day, I suppose. But nonetheless, not a bad little morning out. And I've got a few bits and pieces which I'll share with you at some point. And if you like what you see, please put a subscription on the channel, like the video, comment and share to your friends. It'd be good to have you aboard. Until the next time, take care and bye for now. So here's my little haul from Normous Newark Autojumble. I bought about 5 separate things, ranging from £3 to 30, and I think I probably spent about £45 in the end, so not bad for what I've got on the table here. I'll start with the simple stuff. This is a Rothenberger copper pipe bender, £3. I've got a little project on the go which is separate to anything to do with wheels, where I need to bend some bar and some tube, and I've never possessed a tube bender in my life, only for small copper stuff, and I'm working with something that's a bit bigger, which is completely separate to what I do with car mechanics. So I saw that there was actually 2 on the stand, and he wanted £3. There was another, the other one was another make, but I know Rothenberger, I've heard of that name before, so I thought, well, for £3 that can bend 15mm pipe and 20mm pipe, I believe, but I need to bend it with some, I need to use it for some 8mm and 10mm bar, so that should work quite well with that. But we'll see how that works. But for £3 I couldn't really turn that down. On the same theme, I've got what's called a universal metal bender. Now, I've never seen one of these bits of kit before, but effectively it bends anything from 40mm wide, so 4 centimeters wide, up to 4mm thick, and it will bend flat bar, it will bend round bar, and it can bend pretty much 180 degrees, so basically a U shape, make hinges and all sorts of other bits and pieces. You can put it in the vise. This is basically a tang that you put in the vise, and then you can use this like a rack and pinion type slider affair and a mandrel to bend it round. And with it comes some roller mandrels as well to bend pipe. So everything from, what's that, 4mm, 6mm, 8mm, 10mm, something like that. That's all pretty good, and a few mandrels that it all fits with, different size pipes and stuff, so, and bar as well. So that was quite useful, but that's on the same theme as the pipe bender that I've got, because as I say, I've got a little side project going on with that. And the good thing about that is it comes with instructions. So I've got the instructions with it. This was £15. Basically 3 pages of instructions, basically what the parts are, how to actually use it, and some book of words as well. So that was all quite useful, and I've actually googled this, and they are on sale today for £86 plus VAT, and I got it for 15. I think it's missing one piece, which is one of these, is like a pivot pin that goes in the middle. It's one of these, but it's sort of like it's got a half, it's 3/4, it's got a quarter cut out of it. I've got one of them, I've got the other one, but and this full one, but I think it's missing one of those, but I'm not too worried about that. I think I can use what I need out of that one, so that's quite handy. And I've got this, which I think is pretty cool. £10, laser cut, plasma cut, not entirely sure. Whatever it is, it's precision cut, Ford logo, just in bare steel, so it's got a bit of rust on it, and then it's got a fold on it to make it stand up. So what I'm going to do with that is I'm going to clean that down, give that a coat of Ford blue, and I might put a light behind it or something. That might be quite cool to make that light up. So that's pretty good for £10. Quite happy with that. And what we've got here is basically a job lot of brass taps. Now, I was having a rummage through these because, being into vintage tractors and vintage equipment and all that sort of thing, I'm always looking for brass taps, and I've had to buy them in the past. They look vintagey brass taps, all sorts of petcocks and all sorts of oil cocks and things, and I use them on the tractors for radiators and oil and all sorts of other stuff. And I was having a rummage through, and the guy said £1 each, so I said okay, I'll have a rummage through. And I didn't buy anything at the time, and I walked away, and I came back later thinking I'll have a proper rummage, £1 each, you know, I'll get probably 5 cocks for that. And I came back and I said to him, this was near the end of the time, of the end of the morning, I was ready to come home really by this point, and I said to him, £1 each? And he said, yeah, have a rummage. And then after a couple of minutes he said, tenner for the lot. And I said, done, because here you got some really old vintage cocks here, which you pay a lot of money for if you paid for them singly. I mean, they're about 4 or 5 quid on eBay for a modern one. Yeah, they might need a bit of lapping and things like that, and maybe new springs, because they've been, you know, the springs get rusty. The springs are obviously steel, and the cocks are brass mostly. But I thought for £10, that is well worth, you know, a punt. There's going to be something in there that I'm going to be using. There's olive nuts. There's some fittings in some, you know, there's a couple of fittings. You can use them for oil pressure fittings and all sorts of things for putting gauges on. Perfect. I can stick that in the garage, in the shed, in the workshop, wherever, and it can be there and be used. I got a random wiper blade off of I don't know what, something, but also within it came some of these little handles. I've got 4 little handles, which I think, I may or may not be correct, I think they are Austin 7 hood handles for the engine hood, but I'm not sure. But I've got 4 and they're all wired together, so I'm sure I can find a use for them, or someone might do. So that's quite handy. And last but not least, I got this RAC badge, which I really quite like. Now, I've sort of got a few of these. I collect, on a very small scale, I collect RAC badges. The only reason being was my dad had a Mk1 Cortina, and it sat in our garden for, I don't know, 10 plus years, 15 years in the 70s, when we moved house to where I grew up, basically, from where I was born. We moved to a village in Bedfordshire, and this blue Mk1 Cortina sat in the garden and basically rotted away, and I wish I'd have known, but there you go, I was only little. And on the front of it had a 1960s RAC badge, which I've still got, and I kept it. And a little while ago I thought, I quite like these. I quite like the blue because that's my favourite colour. My dad was a member of the RAC, and I've collected a few over the last 3 or 4 years since my dad's been gone, and I found this, and there was a guy selling quite a lot of RAC badges, some of which I've already got, and there was this one and the one that was very similar, and this is an associate badge. I don't really know a huge amount of history about RAC badges, but this one's an associate, so presumably not a full paid up member. I'm not quite sure how it all worked, and I am actually trying to find out how to date them, because I've got some that go back quite a way. I might actually do a little YouTube video on that one day, because I'm really interested to find out the ages of some of these things. Just be a quick throwaway thing, I think. But yeah, I picked that up, but that was 30 quid, and the other one next to it, which was similar to this but an earlier style, was also 30 quid, and by this time I'd sort of spent my cash in my pocket. So I got this one, and I'm sure, I haven't seen one of these around for a while, but I'm sure that if I go to another Autojumble at some point, I shall be able to pick up another one. So that might be my aim every time I go to an Autojumble now, is find at least one RAC badge that I haven't already got. So that's it. That's my little haul from Normous Newark Autojumble this year. Please like and subscribe if you want to keep up what we're doing. And till next time, I'll catch you on the next one. Bye for now.